Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk about A1 Dutch exam. This exam is one of the exams that you need to take before even entering the Netherlands, which that makes it a little bit hard because you're not really involved with the language and probably you want to join your family and you are in a very stressful situation and you want to pass it as soon as possible. All of these things will make it a bit hard to be able to comfortably learn the language. But in this video I'm going to show you how you can pass this exam as soon as possible and with the less amount of effort so you can join your family. So let's start. The most important thing is that please do not buy Naar, Nederland. I'm saying this because I know when you want to learn about this exam or see what is it at all, the first thing you will see is this package. Everywhere they recommend you to learn this, buy this, put so much effort, but the reality is this is not a good package to pass the exam. And I will show you later why you should not start with that, especially if you want to come to the Netherlands as soon as possible. If you have so many times and you really want to learn Dutch, then it's maybe a good idea to start with this. But honestly, if you want to just pass the exam, and if you have an exam, I will recommend you to first pass the exam in the way I'm telling you, and then you have all the time in the world to choose how to study it, etc. But if you still want to know what is it about, it's the source they introduce. So if you want to learn about it or take a glance, I will put a link in the description of this video that you can see the free version of the book. It's very high quality. They announced it themselves. It's free, available for everybody. So you can see the book. And the second extremely interesting link I will put in the description is the online version that you can learn and see everything about the package. You can learn all the lessons there, all the material is there with all the languages in the world. So basically buying the package is only a hard copy of what you can find online in this link that I'm writing there. So yeah, don't buy it serious because it's also very expensive. The next question is that these are some questions that I want to answer. First one is, how long do you need? The reality is, if you speak English, which you probably do because you're watching my video, then you really can pass the exam maybe in 2 weeks. I would say even a little bit less if you really put effort. But this is only in the case that you are really used to self-study, you're really used to exams, you are, young, fresh, cheerful to join your partner or your husband or your wife. In these cases, you really can pass it very quickly. It's not hard at all. It's super easy, the exam. And yeah, but it also can take a lot of times if you're a bit older, if you're a bit not comfortable with the language yet. You may need 3 months for it, but yeah, anyhow, take it easy. Honestly, it's very simple. The second question is what to study. This one I want to hold because I told you do not study Naar, Nederland, but luckily the embassy announced 2 files actually 3 files. It is very important, and if you only learn this material, which is the study material, the exam material, the questions are exactly like that, so you don't need to do anything else, and I will describe it later a little bit by different parts, but yeah, you will have all the material needed for this exam in this video absolutely free. The second one is, can you postpone or cancel the exam in case that something happened? You can postpone the exam once. It's allowed completely. You should send an email to the embassy that you booked the time there and cancel and postpone your appointment. You're gonna tell them that I have the A1 exam. You tell them your candidate number and everything about that, and then you will give them the new time you want. Usually you cannot give them the hour, or sometimes you say, I want it 10 September, and they say, oh no, the first available time is 15 September, for example. But generally you can play with it a bit, but based on the rules, you only can postpone once. The second time, if you want to do it, you really need to have a good reason. Like if you have, illness or something that you can provide some proof, etc. Maybe you can also postpone twice, but based on what they mentioned, they can get your money. and you will not get it back. You need to sign up for the exam again. And okay, let me tell you one other thing that I forget to mention in the slides here, but it is that this exam is valid only for 1 year. So from the moment you pass the exam and you receive your results, you have 1 year to apply for the E&A, for your MVV visa. Else it is expired and you have to take it again. Okay, my favorite part of this slide is actually this. I put so much effort understanding and completely learning the structure of the exam. It is super useful, and I really want you to pay enough attention to this page. I will put it on my Instagram. I put it everywhere so you can reach this page. I maybe even put it somewhere so you can download and have it yourself. But the exam has 3 parts. You will have it exactly in the same order in the exam. So when you go to the embassy, it is a laptop there, it's a computer, and it's a glass room there. Someone is watching you there exactly. So unfortunately, you cannot have any kind of help, and you're not allowed to bring the cell phone inside, by the way. The first part that they will put for you and you can start the exam is the KNS. KNS is about the knowledge of Dutch society, and it is 30 questions and you have 30 minutes to answer it. But luckily we have a material, it's a book, and I will also put in the description box here. Please check it. It's all the questions with the answers, and it exactly come the same way I put in this video in the exam. Like the pictures are the same, the questions are the same, the order even are the same. So you just need to memorize it like 3 days before the exam. It doesn't take any more than that. It can't take more, honestly. This is the part that everybody take 10 of 10, and they will pass with the highest score, of course. So do not worry about this part at all. As I said, check the description, so you will get the material. It is 100 questions. You have 30 of it in the exam, so it's super easy. And the second part is the Lezen, which it is about the reading skills. This part is a little bit complicated, and because, as you see, I said the material is unknown. This is the hardest part because it includes 3 parts itself. The first part is 15 questions. The way you need to answer this question is that you hear a word, so someone is pronouncing a word, and then you have a list of 3 words. For example, it says book, and then in the list you have rock, then you have book, which is the correct answer, it's the match, and then something else, So based on what you hear the pronunciation, and then you need to choose the way you should write the word. But it's not super hard, or it's not about writing really, It's just they want you to see if you can choose the word based on what you hear. This part actually is easy. Most of it is very easy. Maybe 1 or 2 of it are a bit hard. The second part is very similar to the previous one, but then in the other way around. Because you see the word book, they will write book for you there, and then you have 3 different pronunciation. So you go on the first one, it says book, so you should choose that one. The other one says, I don't know, pop, or some other pronunciation, and ask you to find the pronunciation of this word based on the different options you have. So this is also 15 question. The other 12 question is that you will see a text, and based on that text, you usually have to answer 1 or 2 questions. Usually you have 2 texts, that it is a little bit complicated. This third part is the hardest part and the most challenging part, because that's the only part that you need to really study a little bit of Dutch. If you speak English, this part is not that hard for you because you're used to readings and learning from a text how to answer questions. But if you have no experience with studying, or or you're very old and out of the vibe that you're going to read and answer and questions and those stuff, this will be a little bit challenging. So I will recommend you to get used to reading a little bit Dutch and try to understand it, try to involve with the language in order to pass this part. But as you see, it's only 1/3 of the question. So even if you're not really good in it, based on the other 2, you can pass the exam. And in order to pass the exam, you need to get more than 5.5 for each skill. So KNS, you need to have the score higher than 5.5, which that one you need to take 10. I will be very disappointed if you get less. The second part, again, 5, like let's say 6. But that 6 is for all the parts. So if you answer the 2 part very good, even if the last part is not fantastic, you still pass this part. And this part of the exam takes 35 minutes. As I said, the material for this part is unknown. The first 2 parts is kind of easy, but the third part is really a little bit challenging. The last part of the exam is the spreken. Spreken is 24 questions. The first 12 are the ones that you will see a little video. Someone like me will sit and ask you a question. So, for example, they say, "What is uw geboortedatum?" And you don't see anything. It's just one person saying a sentence, and you need to listen to it. You need to understand, and then you need to record your voice as like 1 or 2 words and answer it. So in another video, I will show you all of these samples, that how it works exactly, so you'll be comfortable with it. But just know that it is in this way. So this is, in my opinion, one of the hardest part, because you need to get used to a little bit to their accent. You need to understand it, but it's not very hard because, tada, here we have 60 questions. That these 12 questions, they will be chosen from these 60. So if you know these 60 completely fluently, like you remember it completely, all of the sentences, you can easily recognize and answer these 12. The other 12 one is that you will receive one file, and you will receive one picture. It is one sentence under it. They read the sentence for you. You also see it. It's a picture there to help you, and you have a blank at the end of the sentence. And based on that sentence, you need to fill in that blank, but not writing it. Only record your voice. So, for example, it is like a person is going to a train station, the train is blank, so you can say, I don't know, full, lat, anything like that, And the good question is that we also have the material for this one, but the bad question is it's a little bit a lot. So you have 430 sentences that they will choose 12 of it for the exam. It's also exactly the same. The pictures of this one is a little bit different, can be a little bit different. But the good thing is that this material is completely available. So, and also I put the videos of it. I made the videos of it super easy. It is super handy. You can just learn that and listen to it over and over, and then you will learn it all, So basically, yeah, we have the kindness part video. I put it in the description. We have the first part of these 12, that they are the question you need to answer, and only by listening. And I also put this video in the description. And the second part, the third part actually, is also this one, that I also have the video of that. These are a bit long videos, so try to get used to listening to them over and over. Then you're fine. So the only challenging part is this part. And yeah, let's go to the next part. Here I can recommend you actually my classes. I had a lot of students who want to pass the exam because they just want to go as quick as possible and pass it and join their partner, for example, or they wanted to move to Netherlands for whatever reason. They didn't have enough time to really learn the language. They wanted to kind of cheat sheet, that they can just focus on the exam, pass it, and come here, and then later when they're here in Netherlands try to learn. So based on that, if you need such a class, I have my private classes that I can help you very intensive in, I don't know, 1 week, 2 weeks, in around 10 sessions that you can finish and learn all of it. I have special materials based on these free materials, of course, are available. I put them on my own channel. It's everywhere. You can the ones that I made actually is the most complete one currently on internet. You can't find anything more better than that. But what you will see is that I have some files also that I have the translation of them, so it makes it even easier for you. If you want, text me, send me an email. And here is a sample of the result. This is the way you will receive your result. They will mail it to you between 4 weeks till 8 weeks after your exam. You will receive it like this in your email, and as you see, it's the different 3 parts. You need to get 5.5 score per skill, and then you pass. If you fail one of them, you only need to pay and take that specific one again. And yes, after receiving your result, you need to apply for the MVV visa. In order to learn about that one, please subscribe to my channel. Bye.